Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video, and today we're going to be talking about every movie I watched last week. And honestly, a pretty chill week. Only 10 movies last week, so not a whole lot at all. Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. It wasn't the best week either by any means, so let's start it off with my least favorite of the week, which is Artificial Intelligence, which is an interesting movie, to say the least, because I really expected to enjoy this movie, but I had no idea what to expect when heading into it, and unfortunately I found myself unrelentlessly bored. Like, I was really bored throughout this entire film. I didn't find it interesting at all. I didn't really find the concept to be that interesting or intriguing either. This movie just did not grip me anywhere near like I expected it to, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, it actually, I believe, is now my least favorite Spielberg movie as well, so that kind of sucks. I wasn't really expecting that, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, ultimately just did not have a good time with this movie really whatsoever. So let's move on to Orion in the Dark, which is something I've wanted to watch pretty much all year. And one thing you'll notice about this week especially, I've been really trying to watch more 2024 watches, because I want to get to 100 2024 watches before the end of the year. I'm currently only 12 away, so I should be fine. I basically would only have to watch like 3 each week over the next few weeks. So there's a few that I want to watch with Mel, and then there's a few that I might watch by myself as well. Most notably, I have to watch Challengers by the end of the year, because I haven't watched it, and that's the biggest movie that I have not watched, although Substance as well. Or The Substance. Anyways, Orion in the Dark, a pretty decent movie. I had a decent time with it. Don't think it's bad by any means, but I think it's just kind of decent, you know? It's okay, right? It's kind of like a worse Inside Out, truthfully. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird theme, you know, about kind of saying that the dark's not that bad, which, yeah, I mean, as an adult, typically, I feel like most adults aren't afraid of the dark, but if you're a kid, you're probably afraid of the dark, and that's valid, truthfully. I mean, I remember I was afraid of the dark until, like, I want to say it was, like, between the ages of 10 and 12 is when I stopped using, like, a nightlight, and then now I want it to be pitch fucking black. Like, I don't want to see a thing. So that's just kind of the difference, I guess. But anyways, Orion in the Dark, it was decent. Let's move on to The Watchers, which I seem to be a lot higher on than most people. It is an M. Night Shyamalan film, kind of. It's actually his daughter, I believe, Ishana Shyamalan, I think it was. So, or Ishana Night Shyamalan. So, yeah, really, I had an interestingly good time with this film. I thought it was pretty decent, and yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting concept, similarly to most of M. Night's movies. Yeah, I don't know, I thought there was a lot of intrigue here, and truthfully, it was something I enjoyed, so I had a good time with it. Yeah, ranked at, I believe, 69? Yeah, 69 out of 100, so not bad at all. Well, let's move on to, honestly, another 2024 watch that is kind of surprising, because I didn't expect to enjoy this much either, but My Old Ass, which I ranked at 71 out of 100, so again, enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, and I had a good time with this, and overall, a very interesting story that I just had a fun time with, and yeah, we have some pretty great chemistry from our leads as well throughout this film, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, I enjoyed this. Well, let's move on to the Garfield movie, which, again, honestly, surprisingly enough, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I ranked this one a 72 out of 100, just a little bit more than My Old Ass, sorry. So, and really kind of what put this movie over the edge is that it's kind of odd, and it turns into a really weird heist movie, kind of, but the emotional bits, they really tried, and for me, they didn't hit me. I think it's very possible they could have, but they just didn't hit me, and it kind of loses some points for that because there's a lot of emotional beats to this film that I think that is kind of their goal. Like, it's to make it an emotional film at times, but it just didn't hit. Like, it was just missing something for it to really hit like that. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, 72 out of 100.
Sorry about this, guys. I actually forgot to talk about All of Us Strangers. So that's my apologies. Gonna insert this into the video. Don't mind Betty in the tree. Legit in the tree. But yeah, All of Us Strangers, a pretty interesting film on loss and grief. And it was nice to see Paul Mescal in another role, because I've been trying to go through his filmography a little bit, obviously recently with Gladiator, and I enjoyed that movie. Ranked it a 74 out of 100 as well, so overall a pretty solid movie.
So let's move on to one of the last Miyazaki films I have to watch, which I should say, which is The Boy and the Heron, which recently came out on streaming services. So finally able to get my hands on it and watch it, which I'm glad I did, because it's probably my favorite score of any Miyazaki film. I really, really love the score from this film. It's absolutely elegant. It's beautiful, and I find it really sets the mood throughout this entire film, and it's really, really special. So I really enjoy the score, and that's really all that I thoroughly enjoyed from this film. It's an interesting story, but it's not anything like super impressive like some of other Miyazaki films. So yeah, I mean, overall I had a good time with it. 74 out of 100. Let's move on to Blended, which I ranked a 77 out of 100, which a pretty good movie as well. Mel and I watched it tonight, and honestly, it's definitely the funniest movie I've watched this week, and one of the funniest movies I've watched recently as well. I had a really, really good time with this. A lot of comedy hit for me, which most comedies don't, but the good thing about an Adam Sandler flick is that the comedy usually hits for me, and no different here. So I talked to Mel about it. I really want to watch the other Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler films, which I believe is 50 First Dates and The Wedding Singer, because I've never watched either of those either. This is the first time watching Blended. So yeah, I'd like to do that hopefully in the upcoming weeks, but we shall see. So 77 out of 100, and really this is just a good movie with a lot of laughs, and that's why I enjoyed it so much. Let's move on to top two actually now, which is Catch Me If You Can, which I ranked in 81 out of 100. This has become kind of like middle of the pack for my Spielberg movies, kind of above average for the Spielberg movies, I'd say, where I ranked it in 81 out of 100. I had a good time with this one. Kind of crazy that this is based on a true story, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was. Let me double check that. But yeah, nonetheless, Catch Me If You Can was a really interesting story, which I really enjoyed. It's kind of got a lot of comedy, but a lot of interesting crime throughout the film as well. And I feel like it's a very different kind of crime movie, which is not really one I've seen, like, check fraud, I guess. So, yeah, very interesting. So, yeah, I believe this is a book based on a true story. Yes. So, yeah, very, very cool. And, of course, it's cool to see kind of the story about Frank Abagnale and how he goes from a very fortunate young man to a very unfortunate young man to literally becoming one of the biggest, probably the biggest check frauder in history, then to become an FBI employee, essentially. So it's cool to kind of see how his life kind of goes through waves and such. Overall, yeah, I mean, I had a good time with this, and yeah, 81 out of 100. So let's move on to my favorite watch of the week, which is Wicked, and Mel and I get to see it again on Monday. I'm hoping we're going to go again this week as well, because we really want to see it a third time. And we were supposed to go today, but I kind of asked Mel if he couldn't go today just so we could wait till next week, because I wanted to wait till next week so I could use it in the thumbnail again for next week, probably, at least, depending on what I watch. But yeah, Wicked, man, it's really close to a masterpiece in my opinion now. I originally ranked it an 88 out of 100 last week when we'd seen it for the first time, and I was kind of slightly influenced by Mel to raise it a little bit higher because I was originally going to rank it an 86, but honestly, I regret ever having it that low because I raised it to a 99, and it's not my favorite watch of 2024, or my favorite 2024 release, I should say. And I mean, I also have Dune Part 2 at a 99 out of 100, but I haven't rewatched it. I do want to rewatch it, but nah, man. I mean, Wicked is amazing. Amazing, 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 amazingly incredible. It's so fucking good. This is the first like soundtrack to a movie that has really immersed me, as from a musical at least, that has really immersed me into the world of Wicked. And Mel and I like are legitimately counting down the days till Wicked Part 2 next year. So we're quite a ways away. So we got about 12 months to go, pretty much. So hopefully that goes by fast because we are really looking forward to it, and I really hope we get to watch it. So. Or watch it again, and of course get to see Part 2. Hopefully that flies by. But yeah, I'm not a theater kid, but I want to be a theater kid, and this movie is really making me want to become a theater kid, especially seeing how joyful this movie makes Mel, being a big theater kid growing up. And I just really hope I can get that same feeling someday. So yeah, nonetheless, that's it for the week. I only watched 10 movies this week. It was a slow week. I was pretty busy, to be fair, which I didn't realize I was so busy. But yeah, I didn't get to watch a whole lot this week. I'm hoping I'll do more next week, but also kind of depends on Mel, because usually if we watch a couple movies a week, that obviously boosts my numbers. And at this point, I think it's pretty much chalked for me to hit 700 movies this year, like I was kind of hoping to. I just don't think it's going to happen because this month I'd have to watch, I think, about 65 or 70 movies, somewhere around that. And I know it's possible, but I don't think I'm going to grind that hard. I got to watch 65 movies currently this month, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know, probably not. Anyways, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.